All right, everybody. Today I'm super excited to be joined by I guess you could call her a virtual friend of mine. She has really influenced me in my business and really doing good things in the world of social media. Her name is Shannon McKinstry. She lives in the DC area. She's the founder and boss, if you will, of Boutique Social DC. Shannon, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Chris. I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is awesome. Shannon, you live in the DC area, right? Tell us about where you're from right now, and I guess what your world looks like amidst the coronavirus pandemic that we're all living through.
Yes. So I actually grew up in Arlington, Virginia, which is a stone's throw from where I live now in Alexandria, Virginia. We're right basically across the river from DC. So, it's a little crazy right now. One, it's election year, plus this coronavirus scare. So it's a lot of stress around here. You can just feel it. But we've been in quarantine for like day 17. They just put a shelter in place yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, we've already been doing it, so we're ahead of the game. So we're just hoping it in our area, it's not too bad yet, but we know it's coming because it's so, populated here. But so far, I think spirits are good. I think everyone's just overall scared, but pushing through.
Sure. So tell us briefly about also your business. Like I mentioned a moment ago, I've been following your posts, your business, a lot of your strategies, all the valuable information you provide. But I would be remiss if I didn't say what a positive influence you had in getting me started. I think about a year ago, I had a call similar to this, but you were more or less interviewing me because you were asking me some questions, and it was a coaching call. So 1 year later, I get to return and ask you some questions. So tell me about your business and what makes you excited every day to get up and quote unquote go to work.
I love it. No, I mean, it's been amazing watching your journey, first of all. Like, the growth you've had in a year you need to be like a case study. You've like crushing it, and it's amazing to see. So let's see, my business is about 5 years old, and I was in social media marketing before that. And before that, before social media became a thing, I was in media. I was working at CNN in Atlanta, moved back here to DC, just missed home, and just started kind of taking some marketing roles here and there. And when social media started going from fun to business, I mean, still fun, but once businesses started taking notice, I was like, I already loved social media. Friends would come up to me and ask for tips on how things on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm like, and I had friends tell me, you should start a social media agency. And I just never considered myself a business woman. And I thought, no, yeah, right, no one will take me seriously. And after I had my daughter, I said, why not? Like, why not do this myself? Started Boutique Social DC, started working strictly with local realtors and mortgage lenders. That was kind of my niche. And from there, like, they would say to their hair salon or their construction company, you should hire my girl Shannon. And it just completely blew up from there. And I did local workshops. And so, like you said, I now do coaching, mentoring. It's been a really amazing journey. And I'm glad I just started, because I started extremely messy with no plan. But I just tapped in my local community, and they trusted me. And now, I always say, and I've told you this before too, I'm like, start local, grow outward. And that's what I tell everyone to do if they're struggling to get started.
That's great advice. And what I love about your approach, and again, I could probably talk the whole episode about the good work you do with the social squad and everything. But what I love about your approach is it is so applicable and practical.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I really wanted to have you on the show, because I think right now a lot of people, given the context of this conversation, people are freaking out about, obviously, the business effect that this pandemic is going to have as far as the economic destruction and the economic impact. So obviously really pivoting where I wanted to go with the conversation a month ago when I reached out to you. And I really want to add value to people that listen to this, because I want to frame this conversation as, hey, how and should you be using social media during this time? Because a lot of eyeballs, like you and I just talked about before I hit record, are looking at social media because we're all stuck at home, bored, looking for connection, looking for relatability, looking for crafts to do with our toddlers who are going stark crazy being stuck in the house. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you're telling your clients and your network about how they can really be and how they should be using social media right now amidst this really uncertain time.
Right. So the biggest thing I've been saying is that they're not pivoting that's just not an option.
Yeah.
You have to right now. This is, like you said, some people are kind of like, whatever, I'll stay home. I'm secure. I've got a government job. Around here, a lot of people are just, they're fine. And then there's everyone else I talk to, social squad. I mean, they are taking a 75% cut, or they're completely furloughed, and it's heartbreaking. For those growing a business right now, or if they've been thinking about it, I'm like, just if you've been thinking about it, just do it, because like you said, everyone is online right now. And as scary as it is, I think a lot of people feel like they have to fall back right now. And I'm like, that's the opposite thing you need to do. And if you did have a side hustle, put everything into it right now, because there are no side hustles. Like, put your heart and soul into it. And the main thing I've been telling people to do is, this is the time to switch from, sell, hard sell, to just being relatable. Like you said, being relevant, like talking about relevant things, because people right now are craving human connection. I'm an extrovert. And if I see anyone on Instagram or Facebook or anything mention Tiger King or Love is Blind, I'm like, ooh, someone to talk to you about my show. It's like, I'm like looking out the window. Hello, anyone? A lot of us are doing that. Even the introverts are saying, like, they're on social media more than ever. They're just trying to connect with people. And so if you produce content and put content out there that is conversational, relatable, and relevant to right now, whether it's about, oh my gosh, this is really hard. Oh my gosh, my friend lost her job. It's all about, being really empathetic right now, tapping into just being like, I always say with social media in general, just being conversational instead of sell, sell, sell. That is going to lead to, and I hate saying it because it sounds, I never want to sound insensitive or selfish in a way, but I keep telling everyone, like, this is the time to ramp up, because everyone's going to remember how you responded and how you made them feel during this time. And a personal brand, especially, it's all about how you make someone feel. It's, what they feel when they see your name or someone mentions you or something they see that reminds you of them. And if you're making them feel comfortable, less stressed, less anxious, or just even if you're just entertaining them with a funny meme, I mean, they're going to remember that. And the people who aren't pivoting, they're going to remember that too. And you don't want to be on that side. You want to be on the side who addressed the elephant in the room, because there's no hiding it. Acknowledge what was going on, provided value, didn't push, just provide value, be relevant, share a story, share how you're coping. And I'm sure you've gotten them too. I mean, I've never gotten so many emails in my life.
Yeah.
From any list I've signed up for, I got an email. But they were all there. Everyone's doing it right. What I've seen, it's like, they're just like, we're here for you. Let us know if we can support. And that's what people need right now. And now we're kind of in this new normal where we still want the support, but now we're like, we want to laugh. We want to learn. Now I think we kind of want to push through, because it is what it is now. So value, entertaining, whether it's, an inspirational story of, something you're seeing in your community that's wonderful that people are doing. And then you can still offer support and sell. You just have to do it in a very kind way. Like, hey, if you're struggling right now with this, I do have an option, and maybe offer the lower cost option that you have. There's still people, like I said, who are still, their jobs are still really secure, or maybe they do have this time and they've been saving up and now they have the extra time to grow the business. Maybe they have 2 months, they're furloughed, but they've been wanting to start this business. You just never know. So you can't disappear. Sorry, that was very long-winded, but that's what I've been telling people. I'm like, 1, don't disappear. 2, offer value. And just 3, be human.
Yeah.
Like, share a funny story, be relatable, show how you're doing, show what, the honest side of this. And my mentor, even, she's like the most put together person I've ever met. And she got on stories the other day and she was like, you guys, I am struggling. She's like, my son is home. He's wandering around, but she addressed it immediately with all of her clients. She adjusted her schedule. And I mean, I'll never forget like how she reached out to us the second everything hit the fan. So that's my advice to everyone.
Yeah. Well, I love your I love the four S's that you
Oh yeah.
talked about. Yeah, I want to set this up for you. I wrote them down. I have them on my little sticky note here. I'll say them, but if you want to just kind of explain, give people a really practical example
Yeah.
of how to do them, because I think these are awesome.
Right.
And these maybe aren't the right order, but this is how I wrote them out. Support, uh, serve, smile, and share were the four S's. Tell me about, let's start with support. How can people use support through social media right now?
So the way, a lot of us on social media, especially, are like, hey guys, new offer, doors are open, or check out this new deal. Instead, it's like, here's how I can support you right now. We have to flip the script. Like it's, no matter what you do, someone needs you right now. And Chris, as you know, I mean, my clients luckily do understand the value of social media. So luckily they haven't been hit too hard by everything yet. So they've stuck with me because they know they can't not afford to have me right now continue to post for them on social media, because I do management as well. So for me, if I were to say, hi, I offer support right now, I'm pushing the Social Squad Society because it's a lot, it's a lower cost item. I'm still here to support via management. I just tell people how I can support them during this time, or the freebies I have, right? So that's an example of support. Just list the ways that you can help someone during this time. You need to add those 3 words during this time.
During this
I
time.
see a lot of people just setting and forgetting their content, and I'm like, if you just added 3 words during this time, it would have a different feel. So
Sure.
instead of pushing make sure you're saying, 1, here's how I support you, and 2, during this time.
Okay. And now how about, how can we continue to serve our quote unquote customers during this time?
During this time, exactly, during this time. So that's the education piece. So, the 4 types of content I always suggest are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and informative. So the 4 S's are basically those 4, but just remixed a bit for this time. So serving is just a tip. So if you are a home organizer, say, here's how to, if you've got an hour in your day and you've been looking at your laundry room, here's 3 tips to help you. If you're I've been telling the stylists and everything, like everyone right now that I see on Instagram, they're cleaning out their closets, they're doing spring cleaning, because it's 1, keeping them busy, and 2, keeping them distracted. So anything you can offer that people can do in their home is a perfect. So for us, it would be like, here's how to clean up your social media accounts right now. Something spring cleaning, relevant is, the big word there, but serving them. So support, offering, how you can help them, to just giving them flat out tips. Share what you know. I know a lot of people are always like, gosh, you give away a lot of information. And I'm like, well, how else am I supposed to build people's trust?
Right.
And even though people are taking information from me, they're taking information all day. And this is a really good time to actually establish yourself as a leader and an expert.
That's so true.
Through serving. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about sharing? What is that all about? Sharing.
So sharing is kind of inspiring. Like, share, even if it's a story about you and how you're having a really bad day, or maybe yesterday was bad, but now you're getting on Instagram, you're creating a post on Facebook and everything, just saying, here's how I got through a really bad day, right? But it's sharing a story about how it's either personal about you and how you're coping and how your family, how you've pivoted, or something inspiring from either a client, something you saw in the news. It's just sharing a story. Like, share something to bring people up. So that's the inspirational piece. What can you share that will make someone not anxious for 5 minutes?
Wow.
And as you know, Instagram is a storytelling app. People love just stories. So share a story of something that made you feel good and that your audience will like as well.
Got it. And then the best one, how can we make people smile during this time?
Yeah, and that's just the light, fun content that everyone is begging for right now. I've seen so many people getting on TikTok, I think because it's the only thing right now that's really making people laugh and smile. All these families, and honestly, it makes me emotional going through watching all the families do dance parties in the kitchen and come up with these funny things. And I'm like, these are families who probably are constantly rushing off to soccer, who are constantly, they're probably not even home to sit down for dinner. They never have breakfast together. And here's these families coming together, and it just always puts a smile every time I see that. I'm a big fan of memes. So any memes having to do with motherhood and going crazy right now, make me smile. It's that relatable, funny content that makes you just smile, and your audience is going to eat it up. So offer support, but and again, we still have to sell. We're business owners, and everyone's out there supporting their local restaurants, their local this. They want to support you too. So tell them how you can support them, but how they can support you. Serve up that educational stuff, share a good story that makes people, feel uplifted, inspire, motivate, and then lastly, smile. Even Friday intros, like those silly Friday intros make people smile.
They do.
Share some funny facts about yourself, or share like what ridiculous stuff you've been doing to keep yourself busy. I mean, anything like that will. And I also think this is just such a great time to bond with your audience. I don't know about you. I've had so many deep conversations with people. Usually they're all very surface. It's like, I've really gotten to know my people through this. And a lot of people even reaching out to me going, how are you? I'm like, no, how are you? It's so, this is a really good time to just pivot a little bit and try something new and see what happens.
Yeah, it's so true. And I don't know ever again in our lifetime, hopefully, will everybody really be kind of in the same relatable position? Like you said, everyone runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour in a million different directions. But for the first time, and ever really, we are all kind of in the same boat with this pandemic, and some for better and some for worse. Obviously, I mean, I'm very fortunate to not have been immediately impacted by it, but still, like we're all in our houses, we're all working from home, we've all got kids running around, we're trying to make the best of it. What better time to use social media than to be relatable and to connect with people? That's a really good point.
Yeah, I think, and again, like every post I've done lately that's done really well, it's all because I'm sharing something, I think a lot of us are just tired of hearing about it because it's so heavy and so draining. Like I told you earlier, like I can't even bring myself to watch the news anymore because it's just instant anxiety attacks. So I'm just like, all right, I'll just read my local news, just know what's going on in my region. And if anything's really bad, someone will tell me. And, but, sharing that and opening up, it's opened up so many DMs, conversations that are leading to real relationships. And, social media, that's what it's about. It's not about anything other than building relationships. And I know a lot of businesses, and like I said earlier, I started mainly with realtors. Real estate is all about relationships. So when I started working with other kind of, other niches, they're like, well, no, we're not really a relationship business. I'm like, well, social media is. So we need to build relationships. And the potential to build relationships right now is huge. I mean, story views are up, engagement's up because everyone's online. And luckily, Instagram is a place that people want to be. So it's a really good time to stand out.
It really is. And, I guess, like you said earlier, everyone's looking at social media right now from a business perspective, but also from a personal perspective. And you had posted something on Sunday recently about, the expectations of like what we're supposed to accomplish, if you will, while we're stuck in our houses. And social media, as whether it's during a pandemic or not, social media sometimes has a way of setting unreasonable expectations, showing people's highlight reels all the time instead of their kind of messy behind the scenes. And that plays into the authentic content that you're encouraging people to share. What was, I won't give away the post because I'd rather go people read it for themselves, but what was the premise of what you shared on Sunday? And why did you share it on Instagram?
I'll be honest, I was terrified to hit that button. I told my husband, I was like, it's going to upset somebody. And he's like, well, first of all, everything upsets everybody. He's like, something's going to upset. I'm like, okay. And he's like, and if it does upset them, then they're the people doing it. I was like, okay. So what we've been seeing a lot of, and I think a lot of it is just, obviously we're all coping differently, right? But a lot of us, like you and me, still running business. Like I'm running a business and I've never worked harder in my life because one, I'm trying to save my business. Two, I'm constantly checking in with clients way more than I ever have. And then the membership I have, it's like we're giving so much more to them because we know what they're going through. So I've been working more than ever. My husband's still 9 to 5 and he does real estate and we've got our daughter home. So while I'm scrolling through social media, I'm seeing all these people with like, they've built these classrooms in their home and the dishes are done, the laundry's done. I'm like, come on, come on. And then I see like push-ups after push-ups and I'm getting tagged and I'm just like, I'm going to lose my mind. And we were just like joking. And I was like, I think, I love seeing all the people, doing their stuff and doing their challenges. And I've told people, I was like, do a challenge, launch a freebie, do something to involve your audience. But it quickly, and I was like, everyone was going live and it's like, we're all just like, what can we do? What can we do? And it was like overload. But what it all came down to and made me happy to see was just everyone connecting. But then came the overachievers. And like you said, setting these expectations, people telling us what to do right this second, when really it's like, we all just need to do what we need to do right now. And if that means laying on the couch and having a good cry and leaving the dishes in the sink, buying paper plates for the rest of the 60 days, that's okay. And then there's the folks who are, it's became this competition of who can quarantine the best. And it quickly went from, hey, let's help, I'm offering advice, I'm doing challenge, to just like, I did my challenge better, or I had the best dress for the day. It spiraled. And I was like, what started as people trying to connect, all of a sudden turned into this like competition. And I just was like, you guys, like no one wins in any of this. And number two, just staying home means you're doing enough. Like if you're just staying home and washing your hands and keeping your family safe and the kids are fed, if they're not going to bed on time and they've just watched TV all day, that's okay. And I saw the color-coded schedules and immediately I was printing them out and I was making meal plans and all that went out the window after a week. I was just like, we're in survival mode, but Camden, does she have a smile on her face? Yes. Are Ryan and I okay? Yes. Are there dirty dishes in the sink? Do we have a schedule that we're into yet? No, but that's okay. And if you have it all together right now, that's awesome. But don't make I think we are all struggling so much and a lot of people are doing it unintentionally. But if you are going to show the perfect this or the perfect this, at least offer how you're doing it. Because a lot of us are just like, how'd you do that? It just, So I think go from competition. Sorry. Can I have a cupcake? Yes, go. Here. So, sorry.
That's okay. Cupcakes are great. I want a cupcake.
So what I again, I didn't want it to come off like, but just let's go, instead of competing, let's help. Let's say, hey guys, or, hey, my kids are on the schedule. This is going well, but all this over here is not. Like, let's just be honest right now. And so I did the post just because I know a lot of people are just feeling really guilty for not going all the way into their business right now, or all the way into their physical health, or all the way into eating healthy. A lot of us are coping in different ways and we just have to be sensitive to that.
I love it. Yeah. And the post, and I'll let people find it themselves at Boutique Social DC on Instagram, but it said quarantine is not a competition. And it's so true. And I really appreciate your perspective on that. Cause I feel it too. Like besides a personal level, I think from a business level, you're looking at this either, like you said earlier, one way is you can crawl up in a hole and cry, or the other way is you can do all you can to save your business and to try to come out as the leader who was showing up during all of this. Oh man, Shannon was always giving stuff away. She was constantly on stories, offering free value, offering smiles, offering encouragement. What are you doing to show up for people so that when this is all over, people remember, like, man, Chris was always there. Like, he wasn't coasting during coronavirus. So with that being said, what parting words of advice would you leave business owners, social media managers, mom bloggers, whoever? What advice, would you leave folks from a social media perspective? How can they come out of this on top?
I think it all just comes back to being relatable. So all I knew what to do when all this happened was give. I was like, what can I share for free? One piece of advice I said to our society members the other day, I said, always have something for free in your back pocket. Always have something you can offer for free, because when stuff like this happens, you have to always, we didn't have time to put together a course. We didn't have time to put together a packet. Like it was like, just what can I give that will help people right now? So always have something in your back pocket would be one. Great to always be a leader when crises happen, but really just continue to show up. And I know a lot of people are just like, I can't show up. I don't know what to say. Say that. Say that. It's okay to say, I have no words right now. How are you? That could be your caption. That could be your story. That's okay. People just want to know you are there. And if it's too heavy, like you said, like I went that whole week. I was like, here guys, here's a free course. Here's some free resources. Here's a thing. Here's a this. And by Friday I hit a wall and I collapsed and I was like, what's wrong with me? And I was like, oh, it's hit me. Like it hit me. And I was honest with everyone. I said, you guys, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, Shannon, it's okay to be human and share the bad days. Show up when you can. Take a shower, put some makeup on. If you haven't gotten off the couch in a week, I know a lot of friends who are just like, I can't get out of bed. And people are really depressed right now. So you're not alone if you're feeling that way. And how can you connect with people? So I guess the main thing is just be human and just offer what you can. If you have something you can give away for free or at a discounted price, do it. Be flexible with yourself, with your clients, and I just beg everyone to push through, because if you're sick, that's obviously a different situation. If you're not in healthcare, different situation. If you are stuck at home, you're safe at home, try to change that perspective and just find the value in every day. And like we said earlier, I've been begging for more time for months, like to slow down. I've been begging. The weekends are no longer hectic. I have time to just take my daughter on a bike ride, to just sit and watch a movie without being on my phone. And I'm trying to find the value in this day and just show up and be human, be honest, and just offer advice in whatever form that is for you.
I love it. What, just one last, I guess, business related question. What is the most creative, adjustment, pivot that you've seen either one of your clients or any business in general make to try to continue to sell or show up for their customers during this?
I love this. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know who started it. Some photographers somewhere, photographers, what can they do? So this photographer offered to her neighborhood, she would go around and take photos of families on their front porch or in their front yard from afar. And I believe she did it for free. But all these other photographers are now doing the same. And it's amazing because, again, what are they going to remember when this is all over? They're going to remember the photographer who came to their house, offered a free photo session, and it's now framed in their stairwell or wherever. So how can you make someone feel good today and in your field and do that? I'm sorry, Chris. Camden? Yes, you can have one more, but go upstairs, please.
Relatable.
Oh, yeah. But that's been the most, I saw that and I was like, that is genius, because now her neighborhood knows she's a photographer, even though they probably didn't. She probably got on her neighborhood Facebook page and said, hey guys, I'm bored in the house. I want to take photos. I miss my passion. And all these family, and it was on Facebook, it went viral, and I see all these photographers doing it. And it honestly gave me goosebumps. I was like, that is, and it got the families to like get together, and some of them got really creative. They were in bathrobes and like looking like this. And it was funny. I was like, this is so cool. And it just shows, just think of how, again, marketing, personal brand, it's all about experience, how you make people feel. So think of something that you can help someone feel a bit of relief, laugh. They can feel like, they can take on the day. They can now tackle their closet because you gave them resources to do so. Whatever it is you do, whatever field you're in. So I've seen, and obviously all the restaurants offering delivery, and it's look at the good. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
Yeah, I think people are definitely gonna have to get creative with how they sell and serve. And there's some people that are kind of handcuffed with what they can do. But like you said, even if you have to turn away from maybe your regular services and do something more on a personal level, like anybody can take their iPhone out the front door and go say, hey, stand on your porch. I can shoot a picture. I typically do lawn care, but today I'm taking pictures. And, there's creative ways. And if you're a business owner listening to this, or if you're just a friend, I highly suggest tapping into some of Shannon's services or social media posts. Everything will spark ideas. I've got ideas just from listening to some of your ideas. So I love all the value you add from a social media perspective, but even just from a personal, relatable standpoint. Tell me briefly and tell everyone how they can find you, connect with you. I know you're everywhere and all the places doing all the things, but what's the easiest way for people to maybe join your social squad society or to get tapped into all the great stuff you're doing right now for people?
Sure, thanks. So on Instagram, it's just Boutique Social DC, and the DC's for District of Columbia. A lot of people are like, what does that stand for? I'm like, I'm in DC. So DC, I'm that on Instagram, Facebook, and the Social Squad is our free Facebook group that Chris is a part of too. You can find that on Facebook, Social Squad with Emily and Shannon. And then from there, we launched a membership, which is $59 a month. We give caption templates. We do masterclasses, bonus trainings. Next month's bonus training is on TikTok it's April. This month's bonus training is on TikTok. Yeah. And this month's is all about how to build a community, actually, which was kind of perfect timing. We didn't expect this to happen, but that's the theme of April. And it's been really amazing. So if you're really struggling with finding community, Social Squad Society, they're both there. The membership is just socialsquadsociety.com. But everywhere else, I'm Boutique Social DC. And then on LinkedIn, I'm Shannon McKinstry.
Gotcha. Yep. Awesome. Well, Shannon, thank you for taking the time. I know you're at home just like everyone else, trying to be a mom, be a business owner, and everything else. So I appreciate you taking your time to talk with myself and everyone else who's going to get a ton of value from learning more about you. And even though you're several states away, I appreciate you doing this. And thanks for your encouragement, your influence on my personal journey. That's almost 1 year now. I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the good work, and stay safe, stay home, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.